Okay, gentlemen, it's 9 o'clock.
Good morning. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Good morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, again, good morning and welcome to the June 14th BOCC meeting. First thing on our agenda, we have the minutes. Gentlemen, do we have any additions or corrections?
I don't.
Okay,
I move we approve the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners of Montezuma County, June 7th, 2022.
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners, Montezuma County, June 7th, 2022. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next on our agenda, we have planning, and the first thing up, item number 1, we have a boundary line adjustment.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Item 1, we do not have that plat for signature. We haven't received it yet. It's still being reviewed by the different departments.
Okay,
Items 2 and 3 are just signatures of already approved documents. And so we can wait on those for a second. Item number 4 is Charles Robinson's variance. He was in here last week. He went back out there and they went through and hacked out a big patch of willows and determined they could go ahead and get the pump house and the propane tank moved back past the 100-foot setback line.
so
They're not gonna need a variance.
They don't need a variance. Very good.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they wouldn't see where the willows were growing on the ground versus on a slope, but anyway, they did a little more investigating and got it figured out, so.
Okay, great.
No
So,
variance required there.
Good.
So if you want to sign documents, we've got those here, the high impact permit and variance for Bell Beef and the high impact permit for Mona Snyder's property there, north of the
Sure.
urgent
do
care
that.
center.
Drink from a water hose.
Maybe I should ask, what are you gonna do Saturday?
Okay, and then for item number 5, we're probably gonna need everybody in the audience to participate too.
All right. We've all done it. It's okay.
Whoops.
You lost it.
Oh. There you go.
We gotta go back the other way. Okay, everybody's gotta come up and do it together.
This is Shaq's Great Escape. Please believe me. Comedy relief at its best.
What do you do in Montezuma County Commissioners meeting when their agenda is short, right?
And as usual, Shaq is out of sync.
Shaq is, well, you know, we'll give him his last hoorah.
America's
So-
Got Talent doesn't have anything to worry about.
Apparently, we have to review a sketch
In
plan,
Montezuma
or,
County.
It was pretty sketchy.
pretty sketchy. So what do you have for, on that?
You just
That
saw it.
that was it, just being
That's what I was
sketchy.
afraid you were gonna say.
If you'd like, you can go back and review it tonight before
No,
bed.
I thought we were gonna put a
I think it's,
YMCA facility
I think
out by
it's-
Chance Community
I
Center.
think it's denied.
Nothing.
I'm pretty sure that's not compliant
I think so. All
in
right.
any form.
Well, gosh, that's quick and easy. Good to hear that the variance is not needed and they were able to find a spot they could remove some willows, and
Yep.
it makes things a lot easier.
He said that, when they did remove the willows, they found that it's 30 to 35 feet, wider than what they thought. And so they were able to put it out of the 100-foot setback
And the floodplain.
and the floodplain.
So, very good.
Did you point them towards noxious weeds and maybe they can get a backpack to spray the new sprouts when they come up?
He's already talked to them.
Okay.
We like the willows. Not the Russian olives and the tamarack.
I don't like the willows either. I got a bunch of them. MVI came up, took some willows off the canal and found 2 head gates they didn't know they had.
When in doubt, cut your willows.
Yeah.
Is the moral of the story here.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and cut the willows and investigate and then see what you got.
Yeah.
That's all we have.
Thank you, guys. Short and sweet. Like it.
Thanks.
Oh, I know. Thanks for the warning. Okay, with that, we're gonna move right along. We're gonna go to the public comment session. Board of Montezuma County Commissioners welcomes you to this meeting. Person speaking during the public comment will be limited to 3 minutes, or depending on the number of people wishing to speak, it may be reduced to allow all members of the public the opportunity to address the board. When addressing the board, please state your name and address for the record prior to providing your comments, and comments to individual supervisors or staff are not permitted. And participants may not yield their time to others. And with that, the public comment session is open. Okay, seeing no,
Back to where I was.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
morning.
My name is Shane 615 County Road S, Cortez, Colorado. I'm representing the Lewis Area Community Center for a couple of items. Our background, our little kids' playground back behind the building, you know, it's getting pretty obsolete, and we want to update it and meet ADA and all that requirements. We're putting in for a GOCO grant, which I've already started, but GOCO, in order to get a GOCO grant, you've got to go through a government entity, which Lewis Areola is not. Now, when we put in the outside bathrooms, the pavilion, the ball field, we got a GOCO grant, and same thing, we went through the county, you know, and basically, we have someone do work or whatever, and we need to pay them. It has to go through you guys. I think you probably know about that. And it worked fine last time. And that's what I'm requesting, is if we can use Montezuma County as the government entity, I guess. I don't know how else you say it or do it.
So, yeah, it's just a pass-through,
So would you guys be needing us to write the grant application, or would you guys be writing it and us only do the pass-through?
We'll write our own application to GOCO, but I got an email saying they needed an okay, I guess. And I suppose some kind of proof that, you know, I didn't just say I met with you or something. In other words,
when is the application due, Chan?
Well, it depends on the people that are designing the little playground, which is the same people, I forgot their name, that done Lewis Areola School just recently. And the gal come down, met with me, went over everything, but she hasn't got it drawn up and back to me. That's the next step. And then this is also the next step for,
So I think what the question is, if it's just a pass-through grant, I don't think, well, I can't speak for all of us.
But it sounds like you need a letter of support for it.
So is it just a letter of support, or do we
right,
actually need to be the
that's what I need.
And how
fiscal
soon do you
agent?
need that?
What's
One at a
that?
time, you go.
How quick do you need that? When is the grant application due?
It's got to be in within about 2 weeks, but it'll be in August. Say everything's fine and approved, whether we get the grant or whether we don't.
Yeah.
So it's, I think, about the middle of August is actually when everything, or before that, it's got to be approved. Everything's got to be sent in to GOCO, and then it goes before their board to see if they approve it.
Right, and we've done pass-through grants before,
Yeah, yeah.
so they're, I don't
I
think,
don't think a letter of support is,
Yeah, that's all.
I
I
can
think
get it
we can
written
do that
before
with-
I leave and leave it in your packet for next week. I'll kind of need to know what's happening in the, what they're asking for, so I can write a letter.
correct. So I guess what I was getting ready to say is, this would kind of be better for a workshop for next Monday, so that we can get it prepared for Tuesday. If we have 2 weeks to get there, so that way we know exactly what we're putting in the letter,
Yeah, it's okay, that's fine.
because right now we're kind of writing a blind letter of
Yeah.
not really knowing what the application needs to be specific to.
You need to, more specific is what we're doing.
Yes.
Correct, so that the letter is tailored to what your need is as far as the pass-through agent.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
yeah, I
Or-
get,
You can email that to Shaq. We can basically have it ready, but it'd be nice to have a discussion with whoever, if it's just you, because this is public comment, and
Right.
we're way over this now, and,
oh, I'm
and,
sorry.
well,
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm just saying that if you can come back in a workshop next Monday, then we can get it put together, because then we can make the decisions on Tuesday.
Okay, and then meet with you Tuesday, or
We'll
Monday.
need to meet Monday in a workshop. Not necessarily will you have to be here on Tuesday, but decisions are made on
Okay,
Tuesdays.
okay.
Yeah, is Tracy Duran writing the grant or he's writing?
No, I am, actually, I retired, Bobby Ace retired, but they put me on this committee, I guess you'd call it, because I done it before. We got a nice grant before through GOCO, when we done the outside pavilion, outside bathrooms, sidewalks, ball field, all that. And, basically, all we done was
Sure.
hire the
So
people.
here's what I'm gonna ask you to do, Chan, is come Monday to
Yeah,
our
sure.
workshop. And then that way bring everything and we don't have any time constraints.
That's fine.
Because to be fair to everybody else, if I allow this to go on, then I have to allow it for everybody else, and I really can't do that in a business meeting. So, I know we're beyond
We'll
our,
come back next Monday.
yeah. And we'll
Okay.
put you on the agenda for next Monday, and they start at 1:30.
In the afternoon.
1:30? Okay, that's no problem.
And then if we need to have 2 hours to discuss it, we can do that.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. for
Thank you,
your
Chan.
Thank you. And I apologize, my timer didn't work. I don't know what's wrong.
It's just to get that, it's 18 years old.
Sure, absolutely.
Guys, thank you very much.
Makes sense. Thank you, sir. Okay, anybody else? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public comment session, and we're gonna move down to, the regular meeting. We're gonna go to a letter of support for the VOCO. And we have, it looks like on Zoom, we have Jessica and Brian with us. So who
Yes.
wants to take it away?
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning, commissioners. I apologize for not being able to be there today. I'm actually in Arvada at a training that is going super great. Learning a lot, but and have an important matter to talk to you guys about. Obviously, it's not about the YMCA, but something just as equally as important. A couple weeks ago, we met with Mr. Kevin Hill, who is part of an investment group, the Cortez Pueblo Partners, who are overseeing the Holiday Inn. They approached us because they're wanting to do some upgrades and some changes to their hotel. And so we really want to capitalize on this situation right now and hopefully make sure that they provide and dump as many dollars as they possibly can into that hotel to support the tourism in our community because it is so important. So I'm have a letter of support here for you guys, and I was hoping that you might be able to sign it. Along with the letter of support, we're hoping to gather up a packet that I've been working with the economic development team to create that has a comprehensive outline of some of the activities that we have available here in Montezuma County, both the outdoor recreational piece as well as experience events such as like the Native American dancing at the Culture Center, as well as we want to include a list of incentives that we might be able to provide for the hotel, any data that might be relevant to the situation so they the importance of tourism in our community and how much it does affect everybody here, as well as the letters of support that we're asking for you guys to sign, as well as our municipalities from Dolores and Mancos. So we're working on finishing up, gathering everything for that packet, and we will go ahead and submit it to Mr. Hill and his investment group. So like I said from the beginning, hopefully we can convince them to develop that hotel even more and provide as much funding as they can to that so we can maybe bring some new energy and some new events and new tourism here to Montezuma County. And I have Brian here that I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Brian, or want to explain any more, that'd be great as well.
Thank you, Jessica, and thank you, gentlemen. Good morning. I just wanted to say that this is an excellent opportunity for us. This is something that is in line with the goals of Mesa Verde Country and the greater goals for the city, and I believe the county. This is an opportunity to bring in a little bit more of a top-notch, top spending type of demographic into our market. This is an area that we've tried to break into for quite some time. our market is continuing to mature. And as we mature as a market, we'd like to be able to have some places that we can demonstrate that successfully. So this is a great mix, a great time for it. I believe everybody's on board with it as well. If there are other steps that need to be done, we'll do them. Otherwise, I think Jessica's doing a fabulous job getting all this information together. And I really appreciate the meeting that we held as a group of entities about a week and a half ago. That's about all I have to say for it, except for thank you, and we appreciate this opportunity.
All right, thank you, Brian. Thank you, Jessica. Commissioners, do you have the letter in front of you? Do you have any questions or comments?
No.
No.
Okay, well then, what is your pleasure?
You want to go ahead, Gerald?
Okay, I move we sign this letter of support for VOCO Community Economic Development.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to sign the letter of support to VOCO by IHG and the Cortez Pueblo Partners, care of Holiday Inn Express, located here in Cortez, Colorado. Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, you guys, we will get this signed today, and you will have it in your in basket shortly.
Awesome. Thank you, Commissioners.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
And then, just one more thing while Jess is still on the line. The next thing on the agenda, Commissioners, as you know, the county has to have a seat on the Southwest Opioid Response District. I have filled that seat on behalf of the county. Initially, Jessica was also involved as she filled a seat from the Department of Social Services. With me transitioning out, I would recommend to the Board of Commissioners, since Jessica's up to speed, to put her in my place on the Southwest Opioid Response District.
Jessica, do you have any issues with this? I know that we had originally appointed you in the beginning, but with your current position, you moved away from there, obviously. Any concerns?
No, sir. I'm excited. I think that this is a great movement that they're doing, and I'm looking forward to working with SWORD more in the future.
Okay. Commissioners?
I would so move we appoint Jessica Thurman to the Southwest Opioid Response District.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to appoint Jessica Thurman to the Southwest Opioid Response District. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thanks, Jessica. Look forward to
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of the week.
Yep,
See you later.
You too. All right, moving right along. County operations, I see Mr. Higman in the back. Vehicle maintenance.
Good morning.
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 All right. So I don't have a whole lot. Same story as every other month. You can't get anything. Everything's breaking down. Just keep fixing it. The only thing I did, I've had meetings with all the department heads this last month and figured out some vehicles we could drop out of the fleet and try to start working on the pool fleet situation. I got a total of, it actually went rather well. I got a total of 10 vehicles that we can give up, and then it would be actually 7 out of the fleet, and we need to figure out 3 for the pool situation, because some of those departments, like senior nutrition, the assessor, they all agreed that they need a vehicle hit and miss, but they don't need one all the time. So we need to figure out, I was gonna put 2 pool vehicles over in the assessor parking lot and have 1 here. And then admin wouldn't have a vehicle anymore, it would just be, that would just be a pool vehicle. And I've been working with Jim, he's gonna make a community schedule that everybody can schedule out a time for the cars, and then we're trying to figure out the lockbox situation. We had talked about trying to make it activate with the card reader. Everybody's just like the doors, so you could see, you know, if you were missing a key or whatever, you could see the last person that had entered the box. So it's coming down, it's getting there. It's still a little bit down the road, but we're making headway on that situation. And that's really all I've been been working on that the last.
So we'll actually be able to get rid of insurance, maintenance, everything else on 7 vehicles?
Yeah, and then we'll be able to update some of the 7 vehicles that, we'll be able to update a few vehicles in the county with those 7 vehicles and get rid of some that are
Right,
getting
yeah.
pretty aged.
The number is 7 that we're gonna get rid of, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
7
yeah.
one way or the other. And it might take by the end of the year, cause that includes, still the landfill vehicle that we're getting them 1 and getting rid of 2.
Sure.
So that includes that in that number, but, at the end of the year, that's the number we should be down.
Okay.
7 down and then 3 full vehicles. So, and then other than that, I've been still trying to find the couple of vehicles to buy outright for, 1 for the road department, 1 for maintenance, and then get that 1 to the landfill. But it's a week-to-week deal there, what pops up and what I can make a deal with those dealerships, so.
And the
Okay.
detective vehicles?
They're on the road, well, they're delivered to the sheriff's department, and they have them currently down in Aztec getting their radios and
they're-
their small outfit. But we went to Denver, picked them up, got them back here. All that went well, and they're off and going,
Good.
so,
So that's worked out well.
yep, everything there is working good so far. They're the first 2 enterprise vehicles we've actually got, so.
That was my question, have you heard from Enterprise? So
Yeah.
We were told Q3 and we're still in Q2, so we're
We're
not,
still, and they've been sending updates, and, basically, they're just still in the build. They haven't got any VIN numbers on anything yet. So, as soon as they get a VIN number hit, then you'll know that they're being built, but
yeah,
right now, they haven't been canceled, but they're not, they're also not, they don't have VIN numbers yet either. So, still just waiting on that, but there's nothing we can do about that. It's just the world we live in. So.
yeah, I don't see it being canceled. I mean, we ordered them just as quickly as we could last year, so.
Yeah, we did the same last year with, detective units we bought from or tried to get from Kaziz, and they canceled that one. It's just, but they still feel good about it. That's,
Yeah,
I talked to Andrew and I've talked to Nate, and they're both, still feeling good that we'll get those.
well, and they were able to come up with these 2 vehicles that we just found, so, and they're new vehicles.
Yeah, those are, they just got them out of a local dealer there in
Yep.
Denver, so it all worked out fine. But as for the sheriff's vehicles, we still don't have anything on them.
Yeah,
I don't think we will until we get an email that says we finally got VIN numbers assigned.
okay. Anything else for Shane?
I don't have anything else.
Okay,
All right, thank you, sir.
thank you.
Appreciate it, Shane.
All right, Dustin, I see him back there. Come on down, building and grounds maintenance.
Morning.
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 Oh, I don't have a whole lot either. We've been, painting parking lots and changing HVAC filters again, and then painted some exterior doors and handrails, trying to clean up the outside of the buildings a little bit. And then our yard maintenance, and cleaned up out there at the fairgrounds a little bit by the entryway this last week. Other than that, not a whole lot. Trying to keep air conditioners going.
Are we having a lot of problems with them, or?
Oh, not too bad. Just, like in this building, I don't like to change the temperature until somebody asks me to, because I've done that before and then they were too hot or too cold, because it's controlled by a building management system.
Mhm.
So that's some of it. And then I had one at the jail that the compressor was blown up on, and we got that repaired, so,
It was working good yesterday.
yeah. Other than that, been pretty well business as usual.
Okay.
You having any trouble getting Freon for your compressors?
I haven't.
Okay.
but
You never know.
Yeah, this day and age. We haven't really had a whole lot of trouble getting too much of the stuff that I've been buying, but
It's good to hear.
seems like my vendors or contractors seem to have a lot of trouble. Anyway,
Okay,
thank you.
all right, thank you, Dustin. Mr. McLean, IT, what do you have new for us?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning.
No, I really don't have a lot. I'll just fill you in on the broadband project that we're working on regionally. So we met last week, I think it was, week before that Thursday. We met at the Commissioner's Room in La Plata County. And the whole region, and we're putting together our maps and getting our final plan kind of put together, and then we'll hand it over to Diane Cruz, who will submit the grant to the state by September. And so we're kind of moving forward pretty quickly to get this region-wide broadband stuff done. So, good news on that front.
Good. So where does CDOT stand with their project from, I know that,
Coming over Wolf Creek?
yeah, that's almost done, right?
It is. It is. So what we're doing with our maps is we're trying to, as a region, we're trying to figure out how to make this all interconnect, correct? Because the state is, they really want to build the ring around the state. And Corey Brendel, which you have all met at one point, he's working with Region 10 and the state to bring that in. So we just need to get to the county line, and then we can hook up there, and then we'll have another way out of here going down that. So we will be using some of the CDOT infrastructure to make that happen.
So where did they stand on that project from Pagosa to Cortez then?
That's next in line. Pagosa, the good news is Archuleta County actually got awarded, I want to say it's a little over $4 million. So they're already working on their piece of it. So they're moving forward, and now we're just getting to try and figure out that Durango piece and then our piece. So, yeah, moving forward.
Okay. All right, any kind of a time frame?
Well, you know how that is, right, with grant processes, you know, you put it all in, and then you still have to go through the approval. What we're hoping, though, is that once this is all done, working together as a region is gonna have a huge impact on how successful we are getting the grant, I think. Because now we're showing that we can work together instead of everybody going off and doing their own thing. So I really have a good feeling about this, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing for us to get this money, so. You know, what we're gonna have to contribute, I don't have an answer to that yet, I'm still working that out, but I do have a cost for the whole build figured out for Montezuma County, so our included cost would be somewhere in the neighborhood of $40 million. Obviously, that will, not our share, that's what it will cost to build everything. That's fiber to every home.
So that's kind of the same program that Connexon was talking
Well,
about,
okay,
or?
and I'm glad you mentioned Connexon, so I should update you on that too. So Connexon has pulled out of the RDOF, and they've forfeited, so that money goes back to the Treasury Department, so that's a done deal, it's off the table. They're both La Plata, or in La Plata and in Montezuma, so that is, but fortunately, in some ways, we had already kind of anticipated that was going to happen, so our plan is being built based upon that. So, no harm, no foul, other than it would have been a good thing in some ways, because they would have done a lot of the work for us, but, and we're still gonna have to work with Empire when this is all done and said with, because obviously we can't bore and trench every square foot of the county, it's just
I
impossible.
mean, not with
So-
that attitude.
Well, not unless you come do it. So we're gonna be using some poles, probably like down G Road, but I'm working on it right now, trying to get it all put together so we can get with an ISP that's interested, and I found a couple that can tap into the E-rate money because we got Battle Rock down there, so that gives us a lead in, because E-rate will fund 90% of a bill just to get it gigabit to them, so,
To the school?
yeah.
Okay.
So that's mostly what I've been doing.
Isn't Emery coming up the canyon?
So they are, well, they're not coming through G, so what
Okay.
they're doing is they're coming down from Dove Creek right now, and they're already building. They're gonna be in Lewis before long. And then we'll try to hook up with them with our build,
Okay,
So that'll give us a path out to Salt Lake, and then that'll wrap us, it'll give us a whole nother, that gives us like, that'll put us, I think, at that time, 4 or 5 ways out of Cortez. And they're also gonna be coming up to Tees. So we may have to figure out how to build that section to Tees, but we're working with the tribe and stuff right now to try to get that piece done.
How close is the tribe to getting to connect south?
Well, they have the funds, they got awarded, so they just gotta build it. Now, how quickly they'll do that, that's anybody's guess at this point, but they did get awarded the money.
So then they have the opportunity and the potential to get all of the fiber down to Toya, basically.
Correct, and, cause their goal obviously is to connect to White Mesa.
Right.
Right, and so Emery's kinda done that section for them already too. So, yeah, they've got the money and they're supposed to be building, and we're hoping they're gonna come up and then they'll go to the hut, and which will give them connectivity back up to the CenturyLink building.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
no.
Anybody? All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Do we want to, James said last week that he probably wasn't gonna have a report, or does he have a report?
He is not here, but I did want to bring, Doug had shot me over something for you guys. He's at a GIS deal in Durango today. It seems like everybody's gone today, but he did want to send this over. He says the past month has been busy with Rachel during the last few weeks, so the projects are caught up and our data files are organized. The annual GIS data call was delivered to the state GIS office, and the specialist position announcement was opened from the 10th to the 31st. They conducted interviews and have made a job offer. The gentleman is from Window Rock, has lived in Southwest Colorado for 6 years, graduated from Fort Lewis, and he's currently finishing a stint in Alaska, and then he'll be down in the fall. And so until then, Doug would like to bring on a part-time guy, and there'll be plenty of money with Rachel being gone in his budget to do that. So Doug wanted to update you all on that. And then, well, I probably shouldn't display the gentleman's information on the screen, so. Just to keep you guys all aware of that, he wanted to keep you informed, even though he couldn't be here today.
Okay. Well, something that I will talk about for the natural resource, James was able to get that MMOF grant in. We did review it Thursday at the Southwest TPR meeting, Transportation and Planning. We were awarded Montezuma County 100% without a match for the paths to Mesa Verde. Now I don't have the segment in front of me, but it was in the tune of, don't quote me on this because I don't have it in front of me, but around $650,000 for that. And I don't know if it was segment A, B, or C, but we were awarded that. The group voted unanimously on that, and that moves that project one step farther down the road. So one step closer to being built, which then will tie into that fiber along that pathway if that's able to be added into that situation too. So pretty good news as far as that goes. One more step in the program that we were awarded on Thursday through the TPR group. Okay, that's all I have to add for that. So at this point in time, we have under unfinished business, we have an executive discussion to discuss a personnel issue, and Ian.
This will be an executive session, I think it says on the
Yeah,
agenda.
Yes.
an executive session.
I move we go into executive session for discussion of a personnel matter under CRS 24-6-402, parentheses 4, parentheses F.
Second.
So it's been moved and seconded to go into executive session for the discussion of a personnel matter under CRS 24-6-402, parentheses 4, parentheses F. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Do we need to include who's gonna be in the
Oh,
meeting?
included in that executive session will be our clerk, Kim Purcell, Commissioners Copenhagen, Candelaria, and Lindsay, Attorney Ian McLaren, and Administrator Powers. All those
Okay, gentlemen, you're live again.
Want to take us out?
I move that we come out of executive session.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to exit executive session and resume our normal board meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that is done. Mr. Ian, what do you have for us?
It was a busy week last week. On June 8th, I attended the Southwest Water Conservation District Board meeting as a member of the NCA work group. The rest of the work group was there, as well as commissioners from Dolores County and representatives from other entities that have been working on the NCA legislation. We all presented to the Southwest Board regarding the NCA and asked for their support. Ultimately, the Southwest Water Conservation District Board voted at this time not to support the NCA legislation. On June 9th through 11th, I attended the County Attorney Conference in Crested Butte, Colorado. That was a real beneficial experience. There were a lot of good classes there. I was able to chat with a lot of county attorneys, especially ones on the western slope, and so it was good to make those connections and get to know some of those folks. The other big thing that we had last week, we did have a jury trial the 7th through the 9th. It was a social services trial. Our assistant county attorney, Stephen Tarnowski, handled that. He did a really great job, and we got a favorable verdict from the jury. And so that was a favorable thing. It was a difficult case, and so just wanted to recognize Stephen's work. He really did well there, and so that was good.
Good job. All right, thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Ian. I already kind of reported a little bit for James. Shaq, what do you have next?
So I've got one thing that got overlooked. Last fall, when people did not pay on their weed easements, we put a lien on a property, and the property was located at 13657 Road 21, belonging to the Schmidts, and it appears that property had already sold 13657 Road 21 to the Suklas, who did not have anything to do with that. And so I think what I need from the commissioners this morning is permission to scrap this lien, since that property had sold apparently before the lien was put on.
Okay.
So the lien wouldn't be any good to that
Correct.
property now anyway, Ian? Or well, first of all, are there weeds taken care of?
Yes.
Okay, well then,
I would so move we remove the lien from the address 13657 Road 21, Cortez.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded to remove the lien located at 13657 Road 21, Cortez, Colorado, in the amount of $474.24. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, and that's all I have for my report this week.
Okay, very good. All right, commissioners, to my right.
Yes, attended rodeo on Friday night, had a really good time, so I want to congratulations to go out to the Ute Mountain Rodeo Committee. They did a really fine job. Their new stock contractor, I noticed, wasn't too many people riding too much, staying on
seconds, huh?
a couple of seconds. And even the breakaway roping was pretty tough, a lot of good stock. Thank you all for doing what you do, appreciate it. I answered a lot of questions in the stands for land use and some other things. Visited with a lot of people out there and had a really good time. Other than that, we have city council tonight.
Yes, and that's been public noticed. As well, there's a benefit dinner at Pleasant View Fire on Thursday night that the commissioners will be attending for Chief Rower at 5:30, I believe it is.
And also, I want to say, Shaq, it's been a pleasure and a privilege to work with you this last 18, 20 months.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
I was also at the rodeo this last week on Wednesday morning, or Thursday morning, Thursday night, and Saturday night, doing the veterinary part of the project, since they have to have a veterinarian on the grounds in order to have the rodeo. My daughter took care of it on Friday night, but it takes some of our time up during that week to donate our time to that. And they did put on a great show. That guy does have some tremendous stock. All you had to do was look at the times on the calf roping, and instead of it being around 8 and 9 seconds to win it, it was like 12 seconds. Because them calves are big, and strong, they can run.
Fast.
And those guys had a heck of a time getting them off their feet. So it was really a good, tough on the participants, but it was good to watch. It was really fun to watch. So it was a very good rodeo. I also attended the Mancos Town meeting last week and discussed some issues with them that they're having over there. And other than that, mostly just discussed a couple of road issues. I got one road issue up on Road 44 that I need to look into. But
Okay.
that's it.
Very good. Southwest TPR meeting we held actually live and in person. It was in La Plata County. Great meeting, like I said earlier, in Mr. Dietrich's report, we were awarded the MMOF, or the funding for one of these segments out of the Paths to Mesa Verde, and I will get that number, but like I said, it was around $650,000. Went to a forum that night, a candidate forum by the League of Women Voters, which went very well. Attended the Yates Golf Tournament, started at 8 o'clock, was out there at 7 o'clock talking to a lot of people, and then that ended around 2 o'clock. Just like these gentlemen, thank you to all the rodeo attendees, participants, everybody that participated in that. It's a big event, constantly every year for us, and I want to thank everybody also. Yesterday we went back into our workshop, had two discussions. We had one, a leadership training discussion by Dale Carnegie, presented by Victor and Cindy Delgado. The commissioners will look into that and see if we have any value that we can push as far as the funding source of what we need to do for a Dale Carnegie class. We also discussed with the Lodgers Tax Committee a discussion on House Bill 22-1117 regarding whether we would put on the ballot this year to utilize the funds that are now acceptable to be utilized by the legislature per that bill. Pretty much didn't feel that it would benefit us at this point in time, but it is an option if we want to move down that road later on. Went to the Dolores board meeting last night, got done there at 9:40 p.m. Some of the actions that they had to take was a discussion on a easement on a piece of property, one being part of the property that the city or the town owns. Chris Mages was there to provide their audit. They do have another vacancy on the board. Two of the new trustees that were just appointed in April have now resigned, so they will be working through that process to get two new vacancies filled. I kind of updated them on a lot of the housing information in the Senate bills and House bills that were approved this year, so that they were aware of that. And that will conclude my report. So we have come to the end of our meeting, gentlemen.
I move we adjourn.
There we go. Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.